So everyone is out here talking about stop apologizing, and yes, Rachel Hollis was right that incessantly saying I'm sorry dramatically diminishes your influence, credibility, and impact in business. But ladies, it is certainly not the only communication problem that we've got. So in today's video, we will talk about 5 types of communication patterns to eradicate from our language now in order to get the recognition and the results that we deserve in our careers and business. And watch to the end of this video for how to obtain a free cheat sheet with savvy alternatives to apologizing and other low power language. It is truly a game changer. Are you ready? Let's do this. This is Keisha, your career and business confidence coach, equipping you to win by owning your inherent brilliance, eliminating your shrinking tendencies so that you will dominate in your field or industry. I would love to have you join this community of powerful, ambitious women by hitting the subscribe button below and join me for my weekly Wednesday videos. Communication pattern number 1 to eliminate is doubt and hesitating language such as I think, maybe, and perhaps. The issue that I found is that women that use this language don't use it because they haven't spent time to do their homework as well as research. On the contrary, they have spent weeks, hours, minutes, days doing research, doing their homework, making sure they have all their ducks in a row. And then when they show up to the meeting, they do themselves a disservice by introducing doubt and hesitation in their communication through their language, and they end up being completely discredited because of this language. And the dude across the table that is speaking off the cuff of his head probably didn't spend as much time as you did doing your homework, ends up getting all the credit and all the praise because he had the guts to speak with authority and with conviction and not introducing any doubt in his language. So the quick fix for you on this one is to simply just eliminate the qualifying language, the doubting language that you usually start off these sentences with, like I think, maybe, perhaps. Quick fix, just eliminate them. Communication pattern number 2 to eliminate is asking a question versus making a statement. Again, just like in number 1, the fear of coming across as too strong is the motive for asking questions instead of stating specifically and clearly what you know. For example, I went to the doctor a number of years ago, and my doctor was a brilliant Harvard-educated woman. And after I explained to her exactly what my symptoms were, she said to me, "You probably should go on this specific medication." And then she went on to ask me if I wanted to be on the medication. I said, "No, obviously, I don't want to be on any medication." She said, "Well, if you don't take this medication, these are the complications that could occur in the future." So I was super confused as to why she asked me if I wanted to take the medication instead of giving me her recommendation, as well as just going ahead and writing my prescription. Is another example, just a one-on-one example of when we as women discredit ourselves by asking questions rather than asserting our knowledge and our expertise. So eliminate that pattern. Pattern number 3 is speaking too quickly. I know if you've been watching my videos for a while, you may notice that I do tend to, at times, speak quickly as well. That honestly is my nature. Like me, like many other people, we tend to speak quickly depending on your culture, depending on where you live. I live in the Northeast, in the New York tri-state area. People just tend to speak quickly and do things quickly because it's just the pace of life. There's a difference between speaking quickly and being completely understood and rushing through your words to the extent that people don't understand the point that you are trying to make, and your motive being that you do not want to be interrupted, so you try to get everything out as quickly as you possibly can, or you do not want to cause a conflict, and so maybe you think if I say it fast enough, then no one will notice and no one will get upset. So it's all about the motive here, and it's also all about whether or not you're being understood. It is important to understand that if you want to display an attitude of authority and power, is to be able to know that you can take the time to explain yourself and take up the room and the space that you need to get your message across. Now, you still have to be concise and effective in that communication, but rushing through your words just makes you seem a little bit nervous as well as unsure of what you're saying. Tip number 4 is to eliminate minimizing and hedging language such as "in my opinion," "just my opinion," or "I am no expert but." When you precede what you're gonna say with these statements that hedge and minimize what you're gonna say, it negatively reduces your ability to impact and to influence a room. So if you're speaking, just speak. It is pretty clear if the words are coming out of your mouth, it is your opinion, and there is no reason to put parameters or disqualifiers or hedging around the statement. Communication pattern number 5 to eliminate is being overly grateful for everything. Just like overly saying "I'm sorry" and apologizing displays insecurity, so does being overly grateful for everything that someone in your organization does for you. Look, we're all here to do our jobs. If somebody is extending a hand to help you on something, it is because it is the greater outcome of the organization. It is for the greater good of the business. It is not because of the kindness of their heart. They're doing it because they are doing their job just like you are doing your job. So accept the effort with grace. And yes, you can say thank you at times. There is nothing wrong with being polite, but this incessant over gratitude is what I'm talking about. So say thanks and quickly move on. One fear I hear from women about utilizing some of the techniques we talked about before in order to raise their power and their influence is that they don't want to come across as a jerk. But I'm going to tell you something. If you are worried about coming across as a jerk, you are probably not a jerk, because the individuals that are intimidating and harsh and more alpha type personalities, they're not really worried about whether or not they're coming across as jerks. It's usually the people that are using low power language that are overly concerned and overly worried about that. If I am working with a more alpha type personality, whether or not it's male or female, then I will encourage them to use techniques such as asking questions, or to even state "in my opinion," so that they will appear much more open to the people that they're talking to. But typically, the women that I'm coaching and the women that are really concerned about coming across as jerks are typically the ones that are using language that lessen their impact and lower their power, and they're not using language that put them on the same playing field as other people in the room that they're speaking to. Let me know if you have any other patterns that you would like to add that I didn't mention today. Just drop them in the comments below. And finally, here is your opportunity to pick up the free cheat sheet that I mentioned: Savvy Alternatives to Apologizing and Other Low Power Language. Just click on the link in the description below and you will immediately get a copy. As usual, don't forget you are not meant to shrink down lower, so rise up and own your power. Have a great week.